We don't.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
Oh, happy day, everybody. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. Hope all y'all have had a great day so far. If you up here in Michigan, excuse me, it is great. I feel like it's summertime a little bit. It's been hotter, but soon as anybody in Michigan, especially in Detroit, feel anything over 50 degrees,
Bringing out the grill.
they're bringing out the grills. They bringing out the Chargers. They finally putting the Rams back on the Chargers or any Dodge car, Chrysler car, because Chrysler and Dodge is the official car of the hood, and they just bring them out. I've seen guys already outside their cars, driving down like boom, 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 and I was laughing. Somebody, that's so dangerous. I'm like, yeah, it's dangerous, but guess what? When I was their age, I did that too. So it really feel like a lot like it's about to get summer. So everybody get a little better. Because I hate when guys say, like, man, they act like some damn fools. I'm like, nigga, we was them damn fools too. You know that, right? I'm like, yeah, but just be careful. That's the best way I can say. Yeah, just be careful, man. I'm not condoning it. I don't know nobody here condone. I'm just saying, hey, man, you got a short time frame where you're a kid and a teenager. Enjoy it. Because you got the rest of your life to be an adult. But hey, we all here on Unfiltered. We're so happy to be here. We got some great topics for y'all tonight. It's been a really, really, really good week. Before I go any further, I'm gonna let the rest of the hosts of the greatest podcast to ever be assembled introduce themselves, and then we're gonna take it from there. We're gonna start ladies first. Go ahead, Ms. Hills, and we'll take it from there.
Hey, everybody. This is Mrs. Hills checking in. Hope y'all had a wonderful day. I hope y'all are relaxed. Y'all chilling out. Y'all resting so that y'all can tune in and really get all that we about to talk about. These are excellent topics tonight, and we know y'all gonna love it.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Mr. Reese, 1/3 at Unfiltered. Continue to share, like, and subscribe. I am looking forward to discuss these awesome topics that we have assembled today. Everybody, please, let's converse. Let's have a conversation about these topics. We will share them. I'm just ready to get into it, guys. So I hope everybody's having a great day. And hopefully, like I said, the one thing I really look forward to is somebody, if it's at least one person, I'm happy to get something out of the things we're going to discuss today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's start on one thing I just found out, just in case people didn't know. Dave Chappelle got bum rushed.
I saw that.
I saw that, and that was crazy.
Got bum rushed, and my man paid the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, John? My man. He paid the penalty. So I don't know, how everything got
It's
started.
a triple whammy.
I mean, he got jacked up.
What's up,
But,
John? You all right, bro?
but
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like I look at it like a triple whammy. Like I said, I don't know why he did it, but one, you look like a televised fool. Two, you didn't complete the mission. Like, you messed up the assignment, You missed the whole man. Then you got your ass whooped. And I think it was something going on with his he broke his elbow, or it's like arm is kind of broken or whatever.
A total mission failed.
Yep. And he's gonna do jail time.
Oh man, what was it? You know, lesson of this story is stop rushing the stage. Stop rushing them stages, man. What's wrong with y'all, man? Leave these people alone.
I don't get. I don't get. I don't know if this is like a trend or like I don't know where it became acceptable for people to go ahead and just feel like if you like what somebody say or anything, just go ahead and just try to attack them. Like I don't get how that became popular all of a sudden.
It's that damn entitlement mentality we got going on.
Yeah, and like the guy had a knife and a gun. Like you know what I mean? And granted, like I said, you know, God is good that nothing happened to Mr. Chappelle. But like, it'd be crazy. We was talking about, Dave Chappelle said a joke, and the guy went up there and just shot him. Like, it could have happened. He could have went up there and just stabbed him.
It's crazy, man. First of all, I'm glad that Dave all right. Because he didn't even get a joke out before the guy tripped trying to get him on the stage. And then they just open up, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, they beat the brakes off of him. And he's lucky. You know, sometimes Americans got to, for all the crap we talk about America, some of y'all need to be awfully glad that you live in America. For one reason, it is crap that they take over here that they don't take nowhere else. They don't take nowhere else. You would have been shot dead. You've been beaten beyond recognition. And see what I mean? It's like, when I saw it, I was like, you know, Dave made and still kept it professional, you know, talk about it and go say, I think it was a trans woman. I'm like, oh hell no. I'm like, this dude is so stupid. There's a trans woman. And I was like, man, it's some crazy junk, man. It's you know, I'm just glad he okay. But you know, it's the ripple effect that we see so much of. I don't know if people see that's the problem. We got such a copycat, narcissistic society.
Absolutely.
When one person does something,
everybody want to feel like they can do it too.
Boom. So this people don't sound wrong, but you know, you had a little bit of that Will Smith coming there. I mean, when you get on the stage, you smack somebody. And now they're like, man, I go bum rush. I'm like, and Chris Rock brother said it the best. He like, don't y'all come march this stage up this stage, because the only thing you entitled to you get up here is these damn hands. And I can't front. If you are easily offended, and John, I was going to kind of hit on that. If you are so easily offended, we brought it up here a lot, and it's something that my mentor told me a long time ago. If you are offended by everything, then you're rooted in nothing, which means you're basically like a leaf getting blown. Wherever how the wind blow, that's where your stand is. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to stand here. Man, if you are that offended, I got a message for you. Stop buying tickets and stay home. Close yourself off from society. Go do something else. Go in the closet and just hide. Hide for the rest of your life. Now, am I being facetious? Absolutely, I'm being facetious, because you can't have for the rest of your life. What I would tell you is grow the hell up. You got it. We got it. People, I am so tired of excuses. We got too many excuses in society. All we do is have an excuse for another excuse for a reason. Guess what? I ain't got my God ain't a God of excuses. Now, he a God of free will, which basically say, hey, if you I'm gonna let you get the decision. If you want to do it, all right.
But just like they say, you play stupid game, you win stupid prizes.
Man, this is stupid, man. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. People got to just get over this. Stop being so idiotic, man. Grow up. Grow up to that point where you like, look, you know what? Maybe I'm not the best person to come here because I can't take a joke. And that's all right. You can't take a joke. Okay. Don't do it. Then don't throw, Don't throw rocks if you live in a glass house. I can understand that, and I respect that a little bit more. But man, I'm like, whew. I mean, he got butt
You
brushes.
you listen. I want to say, hey John, how you doing? And it's just about the fact that people just don't want to allow other people to have a difference of opinion. No, I'm not going to agree with you. That does not mean I hate you. That does not mean I disrespect you or none of that. That just means I have a difference of opinion and I don't agree. Okay, you said a joke that I didn't like that I thought was insensitive. Okay, I'm not about to come attack you because I didn't like what you said. But that's what
That's
people
it.
are doing. They're
That's
just like, oh, I don't like what you said. I'm mad. I'm going to use this as an opportunity. I've been needing to lash out for a long time. Like John was saying, people need an excuse to lash out. And they're taking these moments and opportunities because, like you said, they're copying off of what they seen. Oh, somebody else did it and they didn't really, I didn't see no consequences, especially because it was a celebrity. I didn't see him get arrested and go to jail. So if he can attack another celebrity on stage in front of the whole world, I can go ahead and do something too.
You hit it. You hit it right on the mark, Miss Hills. It's just where it is. I would tell people, y'all need to chill out because the day and age. First of all, we got a day and age of people that's constantly entitled, extremely sensitive. At the same token, extremely violent and extremely opinionated. What a tornado of confusion we got going on.
I mean,
That's a bad recipe. That's a recipe for disaster. Real talk.
Absolutely.
That's a
Yeah.
recipe for disaster because none of that mix. That's like that's like an oil. That's an oil spill in an ocean. It's a recipe for disaster. It don't mix. It makes no sense. I'm sensitive, but I'm highly opinionated. Man, that don't make sense.
That's like you can dish it, but you can't take it.
Right. And that's
and
exactly
if
what
you,
it is.
and then once you don't like it, they should pay the consequences.
Right. Let's cancel you. I'm gonna cancel you now.
That's just like being bullied, but then you want to be the victim at the same time.
Hey, how many times we said that on this show? How many times we said that we got too many people out here that want to come out and play full out the aggressor, but then when everything don't go to your plan, now you shriveled up. Oh, master, no, don't hurt me. Now you shivering up. Now you scared. Now you the victim. Well, I
Yeah.
attempted to come over here to kill them, but they attempted to kill me in exchange.
Yeah.
Man, get out of here, bro. That's crazy. Well, I ain't gonna spend all day on that topic. I'm just glad he all right. The guy got caught. Stop storming stages, man. Sit down if you can.
Now I want to know, did he have a gun? Because I saw something
He
that
had a
said he
gun
had
and a
a gun.
knife.
Yep, he had a gun and a knife.
Wow.
Yeah, up in his shoulder. They showed it, and it looked real rusty and nasty. Like
Yeah, like he
he
stole
was
that.
really on
Like
the
he
mission.
stole that from the bottom of the damn Boston River, Boston Harbor, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
He probably the
but
gun
like,
that they shot Kennedy. You know what I'm saying?
but
Somebody like that.
it's just stuff like now. Do entertainers feel like they gotta have weapons on stage, or people that's willing like to do something like that in order to feel safe to perform? At this point, I would feel like that.
Well,
Like,
see, that's why they used to have security all the time, like on guard. But the pandemic, we getting back outside. Stuff is kind of lax. But now, listen, you ain't gonna be able to get nowhere near these people.
and like I said, I know you want to stay on this topic, but I feel like this. I look at it like this. Like, yeah, you got security, but they can only look at control and want to control so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, one, they feel like they get paid by like the club, so it's like whatever lackadaisical job they go do, they go do. But let's just say, Felicia, if you're up there entertaining somebody, and Randy and I are your bodyguards, your security, ain't nobody getting past us. So however that go down is how that go down. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow, like I know you got club security, but I need my own private security. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to get to that point now because whatever security that, and this Dave Chappelle's one of the biggest comedians ever. And that guy was able to get on stage and able to touch him. So I wouldn't feel like I'm good with that kind of security, you know.
Yeah, I mean, this ain't. And you know what? To be perfectly honest, you know what? People gonna blame a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna tell people this. Uh, this how teachers feel when they got to go into classrooms,
Oh, don't go there. Don't go there.
and
Prepare yourself, people.
you
Don't
know,
go there.
I guess, man. See, I can't believe I hate when I talk to y'all. I love it, but I hate it when we talk because something else
No,
gonna come out.
because people are very sensitive and they don't understand that we coming with the unfiltered truth.
Yep,
So
Don't
they
go
need to
there.
prepare themselves for the unfiltered truth because we
yep,
ain't about to be sugarcoating stuff, but we coming with the real.
yeah. So basically,
And that, you know what? Like, we could touch on this, but I think this topic, like, now that you brought it up, I kind of really want to expand on that. But wherever you want to go, I want to go with y'all
well,
because,
you
like,
know, like I said, we always go with the flow of it. So I'm just gonna say this, man. This is how teachers feel about going to school with disruptive students that they can't
mhm.
discipline, but y'all want them
Yep,
to teach.
exactly.
Let's call it the way it is. You got the nerve to tell them, don't touch my kid, but your kids come in there and they act a fool, even put them in danger. Now, am I for arming teachers? Absolutely not. I'm not for arming teachers because I mean it's a whole bunch of rationale, and that's like I said, that's a long conversation. Just like I'm not for celebrities arming themselves because for one
Wait,
reason, the only reason I say this is the only reason I ain't for them having guns on stage being readily available for somebody to come out with. Everybody's level of fear ain't the same. Somebody could be afraid because somebody said, "You a stupid bastard." Oh, he frightened me. Pop, pop, pop.
yeah,
Now,
but I don't know if it's like you. So comparing a teacher and an entertainer, like a comedian, is kind of different. Like, I think when, like, and this is why I say this. As a comedian, go on stage, yeah, we say stuff that people not gonna like or offensive or whatever. But still, you're in that element to where, and it's gonna sound a little crazy. You're in the element to where, like, okay, I can feel and say what I want, and stuff is in place for me to feel like at least I'm safe. So for a lot of teachers, they understand and know the kind of dangers they go into that classroom in the schools, even though it shouldn't be there. Like I said, until this whole Will Smith thing happened, I'm not privy to a lot of people running on stage attacking entertainers.
well, I'll say this: I've heard instances where somebody didn't like a joke and they wanted to fight. So I know that's not new.
No, it's not. I agree.
And what I mean by what they saying the same thing is just this. What I mean by that is it's just like I feel about in real life. Everybody shouldn't have a pistol.
Agreed.
Everybody should not be allowed to carry concealed weapons because they are not ready for the responsibility that comes with it, and they show as hell ain't ready for the consequences.
That's a fact.
That's right.
And I think that with teachers, my biggest fear is that, and y'all can, and I know we can all kind of agree on this a little bit. It's always the second one. It's just like when you're playing basketball, football, or anything else. Somebody give you a cheap shot. You retaliate back. It's always the second person that gets caught. It's never the first person.
Yep. Every time. Yep.
And it's just like that. Well, I feel like in every other situation, when somebody like, man, the reason why I respond is that, man, this dude, you know what I'm saying? This dude just tripped me on purpose. Y'all ain't see like, oh, so he tripped you on purpose. Yeah. They don't know the build-ups. They don't know everything to it. Because 9 times out of 10, people ain't always going to tell. They're not giving everybody a play-by-play, a blow-by-blow of everything that happened. And this is something I do notice. That's why I think it's some people that are better built for it because they know how to do paper trails. So they be like, nope, I called the police this day. I called them again this day. The guy came over here again this time. And while you sitting here thinking that y'all just having little quick arguments, this person built a paper trail against you so they can have themselves covered. And I think just like in classrooms, I'm scared that you're going to have a student who is a repeat offender.
Yes.
And maybe it may be a misunderstood kid. He might not be violent, but he got a record so long that one day he might come up to the teacher's desk and he might say something with some aggression.
Yep.
And the teacher take it the wrong way, and bam, like he got to be so aggressive. That's what I'm scared for the kids.
I agree.
I'm scared of that for the kids.
Yes. And can I say for the teachers as well, because the teachers are under so much stress all day, every day. They have to perform 24/7. They do not have a break. The only time they get a break is once they get into their house and you don't even know what your personal life is set up like. The teachers are so booked, like they can't even go to the bathroom when they want to go to the bathroom. They make sure they go to the bathroom and hold up. And they dealing with all these kids and all their drama and everything that the kids is bringing, the parents is bringing, the misunderstandings, the miscommunication. So that's a dangerous thing to give these teachers who are been overworked for years and underpaid to carry. That's not smart.
And you know what's crazy? Like to find a source of that. You, Felicia, and I have agreed that a lot of stuff just comes from the parents. Like I was in a situation once at a school with a teacher, and I think the student had an issue of not paying, not minding the teacher, and just digressing everything that the teacher is saying. So then the parent comes, it's just blaming the teacher, saying this is y'all fault, blah blah blah. So what he did is y'all supposed to do ABCD. And it's like, wow, we see exactly where he gets it from. So it's like, how can we help, teach your child or even get them on the right path where the parent doesn't understand? So it's like it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. It's impossible to teach this kid if they're going home and getting the same behavior from the parent.
I agree, and I feel like that's why it's dangerous for celebrities as well. Like it exactly what we're talking about with the teacher-student dynamic and the parent dynamic. It's the same thing with celebrities and entertainers.
Yeah, I just think that I agree. Yeah, I think that's where it's going with both. Like we was all saying, it's like I think we all kind of saying the same thing. It's crazy because, man, I mean, I don't know how many people have ever been in a real life and death situation. And, and I tell people all the time, like, I've been in several life and death situations. And it ain't no walk in the park. You got to have some calmness to you. You gotta be attentive about everything that's going on. And you got to do all this in real time.
Split seconds.
So I just think that we have too much of a high-strung society. Is it everybody? Heck, But it's a majority of people that have, just to be able to be rational and to think things through in a split second. Hell, we got cops that can't do it. We got cops that be like, that's why, you got people got to understand it. And I mean this with all my heart that I don't care how many people got guns. We already living in the wild, wild west. They talking about keeping guns out of people's hands and making more rules. That's fine and dandy. But the fact of the matter is the bad guys don't follow the rules. I'm like, okay, what you gonna do? Have more restrictions for guns? Guys, I know guys go out here and get AK-47s, you know what I'm saying, Uzis and everything else. Okay, we've already established that people can get these things and do this stuff. So the rule is only as good as the people that follow it.
That part.
So it's like really, like you said, when you have a Dave Chappelle situation, he was calm. That situation could have been 10 times worse. The man had a gun and a knife on him. If he really knew what he was doing and determined, we may be saying something else today. We may be saying something on the lines of the untimely death of Dave Chappelle on stage in front of people. So I'm just grateful that we had this situation was different because we've had too many of them. Other situations that didn't end like that.
That's a
That's
fact.
right.
That's a
That's
fact.
You know,
right.
so I think that when people say the violent part, aspect of things, I'm like, look, we all are in some type of danger now, really, more so than ever. That because of the type of society that we um, knowingly and unknowingly have allowed to happen and develop, we all are victims of
Yes,
it.
we are.
People want it to be like, man, everybody's opinion needs to be respected. Everybody can have an opinion, and that opinion can be right on. You're entitled to your own opinion. You're not entitled to your own facts. So I think that in this nature, I still agree with you, man. I don't know if I'm up to like this. If I am somebody that was on stage and I had to do things all the time like that, whether you politician, actor, comedian, it seems like it's a lot being aimed at comedians and entertainers right now.
Yep,
I would have security up to yin yang now.
for sure.
I wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would say the first 4 rows, nobody can't be in them.
And I just look at the situation because, like, I understand this was like just some little small comedy club or
Right.
hole in the wall, or if it was somebody coming up or whatever. But this happened to the Dave Chappelle in front of tens of thousands of people, and the guy was able to get to him to where Dave was able to kind of like move him out the way. It shouldn't have got that far.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this happened to him, so it can happen to like almost anybody. You know what I mean? And like, I definitely agree with both y'all. We talking about like you hit the nail on the head. What you said. We got cops that can't even handle the situation where they have a gun in their head, or like you got to take somebody's life or spare somebody's life. Like we said, we got cops that can't even handle that. So it's just different being in those situations. I'm just saying, like, just to be put in those shoes is like, what would make me feel safe? And like you said, the answer can't be put a gun in everybody's hand, but we just got to be more responsible as people.
Something got to be done because you right 100 because it's getting to man. If I say this, God know what I'm trying to say, and I'm not trying to put this element out there. It's starting to feel like the '60s, man.
I knew you was gonna go there because that's what I was gonna say.
Yep.
When people was getting, yep.
It's starting to feel
I
awful.
don't. What do y'all mean?
The '60s, it seems like it's a lot of stuff just going on. '60s, people's answer for getting rid of problems was assassinating people.
Yep.
Let's just kill them. Let's get it over
Yep. Yep.
with. Kennedy, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, Robert Kennedy. It just went on and on and on. That was their method to saying that's what we're doing. Several of the Black Panther members, everybody who seemed like they're like, you know what, we don't want to hear it. I don't care what they're doing. They capturing hearts and minds of people. Get rid of them. And I just think that we are in danger of floating down that same boat of this is how we get rid of this is what we do with things. This is how we're going to answer it with pure adulterated violence all the time.
And you know what sucks is that that's on both sides of the field because that's how we're even taught how to deal with problems like that.
Yep.
But then at the same time, like in society, it can be like that. Well, hey, you know what? Let's get rid of them. It's just like our country and our like I said, our damn near society is just prone to violence, and we're being numb to it.
It just seemed like it's a powder keg, and it's not the right word. Yeah, a powder keg, where it's at the point where people it's not even, and the messed up part, it's not even taking long for people to explode. They're like, boom, I'm right there on the edge. It's something wrong with you if
you can quickly go from 0 to 100 in your emotions. There's something wrong with that. I can say that even in myself. When you're going from 100, 0 to 100 in your emotions in moments, there's something wrong with that. That means you just said, I'm bypassing everything else. Forget it, boom, I'm right there. And like I said, it's getting to that point where one of my favorite scenes in the Avengers is when the Hulk came back and they're like, oh, you might want to get ready to change. He's like, man, that's my secret. I'm always angry. I'm like, people are walking around always angry, always on tip.
Yep, always on the edge.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
That
that's
one thing.
dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous, man. That's too dangerous. We got our kids. These kids ain't afraid of nothing. And I've seen these kids are not afraid of anything.
Scary.
There's a fact where they like boom. They something they ain't even afraid of dying. And oof, man, it's getting to that point where you starting to see it more and more.
It ain't real. Like, and I know y'all be on Facebook. It's just stuff that I see, like this lady just jumped from a building to her death, and we just see it all the time. So like nothing's like new or nothing's like scary anymore. So it's like I said, until they realize death is real, it ain't gonna affect nobody.
And you know what's the funny part about it? They know death is real. We are desensitized so much to everything. This is where it's at. It was a time before, and me and my daughter talking about this. I don't know who actually I was talking about this with, but we were talking about. I was like, it's two people or things that we as a whole need to pay attention to, because when these two things say is something wrong, something wrong.
Yeah.
One is animals.
Mm-hmm.
When you get animals and they just like animals just ain't doing nothing to do nothing. Animals are instinctive. So if something ain't right, they know it ain't right.
They run away.
Yep. If they heading out,
The opposite way of danger. Yes.
yep. They not playing no game. They are fight or flight. That's how animals are. And then the next one are children. When you got children, I'm talking about our most littlest and precious ones. When you got kids that don't like being around a certain person, they don't like being in a certain room, they don't like being right here, this and that. I tell people all the time, man, pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Because
Yes.
kids have a very sensitive spirit because they're not exposed to everything. And
Yep.
this is why our society, that's proof positive to why our society wants to just put everything in our kids' presence. Because the more you put in their presence, the more they become desensitized to it, and the more it becomes the norm for them. It's normal. Yeah, it's normal. When you got a 5-year-old that's already thinking that sex, his thing ain't even old enough to really get a full erection. And he already talking about sticking it, moving it, doing this and everything else, blah, 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 and talking like he in a sailor in a conversation, a grown man.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yes, it is.
It's a problem. Why? And how did this problem come? Again, like I've been saying for a long time, it starts at home with the parents, man. It starts at home with the parenting. It's your environment, what you have been around. Everybody does not have that mental fortitude to be like, I am distinguishing that this is wrong. I don't want to do it. I'm not giving people excuses, but it's just the truth.
Absolutely.
If you give someone an okay, if you give a little kid the okay that is fine to be cussing and doing all this stuff, and all you do is laugh and joke, like, ha ha ha, that's so cute. Now when he's 18 doing it, now you want to put the foot in his behind? It's too late. You let them
It,
think it was
it
okay this whole time. You desensitize them to it. That's how you got young kids that are in armies and militias in other countries or even here
Mm-hmm.
who ain't desensitized to seeing a dead body. They've seen them before.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's a dead, one less dead person. They don't care. It's desensitizing. So that's the big thing. We in the art, we in a day and age where we saying we want to desensitize everybody to everything, so that way the stuff that they're about to bring out, that we're about to see, that we're about to be full front seat for, I still don't think any of us is prepared for it. I don't care how desensitized they are to it.
right.
So, and
And I want to say too, it goes back to I'm taking it to the Bible. God was very specific about telling us not to conform to the ways of the world and to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. And that was specific because everything comes from the mental. Whatever we start seeing is visual, we start thinking about.
right,
And that's how they've gotten to the point where we're mindless when it comes to violence. We're mindless when it comes to learning how to cope with things. We're mindless when it comes to understanding conflict resolution, and that violence is not always the answer.
right,
That you ain't always got to say the first thing that pop in your head because you have freedom of speech and you just want to say it because you can.
right,
I think that's where our society has come to. And number one, they just is no. You can see it's a godless country. This is a godless. It's becoming godless because when you trust God, when you are obeying God, when you have a reverential fear of God, where it's not that, oh, God is there, I'm so scared, but you honor God. You understand what the standards are. There's a difference, and I think that's the how the times have changed, because back in the day, yeah, they ain't do everything right, and yeah, they was a extra sticklerish and real hard hitting, and they could have been a little bit more soft, but they fear God, and you can tell. Look at how the world was, how society was. Look at how people and families did things. They had accountability. The parents was making sure they kids weren't just out here doing whatever. They wasn't trying to be their kid friends. And you can see that reflecting in our society. And I'm bringing that up because the young people are the next generation. They're the ones who are going to come after us. They're the ones who are going to build up the rest of the country. And if the kids are desensitized already, how do you think our leadership is going to be moving forward?
right.
If we think it's bad right now, we don't know. It's only going to get worse.
We already
The
seeing
kids
it.
have no morals or values. Not all of them, but a lot of them. It's too many of them that don't have what
Yep.
they need in order to sustain and to live and to make proper choices and decisions. They scared to make decisions. They asking their mama and daddy to help them with everything. They go on to Google and the internet to get them answers. They don't even know how to make a proper choice and decision on their own independently.
Yep, absolutely. That's 100. I don't even know no other way to put it better than what you just said right there. It's 100. So, just going right into that. Um, I kind of just want to hit this one right now, because it's the biggest thing in over 50 years.
Yep.
Uh, just in case a lot of people don't know, and I'm really hoping that people's paying attention to this, because this is not exactly what it seems to be. And I could go a little bit more in detail to that. But uh, the other day, a leak came, which is kind of unheard of, especially for the Supreme Court. Uh, Supreme Justice Ito um, had an opinion document that was leaked out discussing overturning Roe versus Wade.
Wow.
For people who don't know what Roe versus Wade is, Roe versus Wade is in regards to abortion, legalization of abortion. Um, and this is what's going on with this. First of all, I've talked about this, I don't know how many times when it comes to the Supreme Court, but I'm going to stay on topic for the most part. 5 justices, it's been confirmed that 5 justices are already said that when they go into full discussions of overturning Roe versus Wade, which is coming up in June. So pay attention. Don't get so involved in summer stuff and entertainment. Entertainment, whoo, dang, doggone it.
Distraction.
Entertainment was the best way to distract Americans. Always have been. It was the best way to distract blacks. It was the best way to distract whites. It was the best way to distract everyone because when you're being entertained, it's certain sensations and chemical that is being pumped throughout your body that gives you a feeling of euphoria. And you're not trying to focus on the thinking, and your mindset is kind of like it's almost at ease. It's like heroin. It's like cocaine. It's to give you this temporary feeling, but behind it, you have long-term dangerous effects. So don't get so involved this summer because we're about to be exposed to a lot of different things, as we have been, but it's about to be more blatant, more up into your face, and some of y'all still gonna miss it. You're gonna see David Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty disappear, and you standing right in front of that bastard, and you're gonna try to figure out what just happened. So Roe versus Wade, just for people, the leak is a surprise to a lot of people, but let's start here. 26 of our states, 23 to 26 of our states, including Michigan, already has bans on the books for abortion. So it's a Stone Age old law. I want to say with Michigan, it go back like 60, 90 years. Don't quote me. I'll get factual information about that. But it go back very far. Uh, it's just that a lot of judges, to a certain extent, have not prosecuted or charged on that level or ruled. So what this does, just to let people understand this, if they overturn it, what it does is that it goes to say federally, they're like, well, it's not legal. The power go back to the states. But see, this is where this messes up at. If it goes back to the states, that's what it does now. Keep this in mind, everybody. The states rule first. When you go to the Supreme Court, it's because you have you tried to keep going higher and higher and higher. If a federal is put in place that no, it's illegal, guess what? That abortion case, it ain't going no higher. So if a state has already said abortion is illegal and they ruled in their favor, you can take it higher, but it's a federal law that says it's illegal. So basically, it's saying, hey, if you do this abortion, we gonna put it in, and they even want to put it as a felony. So some people like, well, that means doctors ain't gonna do it anymore. Yeah, doctors ain't gonna do it no more if they gotta face going to jail.
Right.
How many doctors you gonna like, man, no, I can't do this. I'm gonna be legal action. I can't do it. They gotta face being you know what I'm saying, their licenses being taken away. Last time I checked, just in case to let a lot of you know, doctors make some good money. So at this point, we could go into two things that I want to go into. One is abortion. In your opinion, should it be legal or should it not be legal? And we'll go that route first. We'll go there first, and then the second is not so much a question, but more of what I believe really is going on. So to answer you, Mr. Reese, I'll have you kind of go first. Abortion, illegal or legal? Where do you think, where would you stand on that in regards to that? I don't know if Mac's still there. Miss Hills.
You hear me? Well,
Oh,
can
there we
y'all
go.
hear
There
me?
we go. There we go. There we go.
I don't know what was going on. Like I said, with this topic, I just think I don't want to be like cliche, but we're in the land of free. We say we fought for our freedom, fought for our speech, right to right for anything, right? So like, where it's a bigger picture, and I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'm not going to be on it too long because it's a bigger picture with this Roe versus Wade thing. It's a bigger picture, and I just think at the end of the day, you should like when we talk about abortions, right? I understand there's some people that abuse it. So hey, like you know what, you want to continue having sex without condoms or protection, you get pregnant and you keep going to the abortion clinic, you keep doing the same old stuff, and we're not talking about those people. We're talking about people who's been raped. We're talking about people who's been in a situation where they've made a mistake that's going to alter their lives. We're talking about, I don't want to say unwanted children as as it's something that we purposely do, but like I said, there's situations to where hey, it's okay to get an abortion. Like I said, and who am I to even judge that another person should get an abortion or not? So it shouldn't be illegal. But like I said, I'm gonna end it there because I want you to really get on it because you were kind of getting on it, but I think you want to wait till me and Fifi talk. I think with this Roe versus Wade, with this whole making abortion legal or not illegal, it's just the beginning of what people really want to do. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I said, I want y'all to really touch on it. But like I said, I think this is just the beginning of what people really want to do. And I think y'all gonna go into more than in detail from this topic. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Fifi go. Yeah, so I believe abortion should be legal.
Okay, so my opinion is that people should have the right to choose what they want to do with their bodies, and what the government should not have to have the right to choose for them. My personal opinion, I am pro choice because for me as a woman, I don't believe in abortion. But I know that other people may, for whatever reason they have, feel differently. So I don't believe, just like God is set up, that you need to force people. People got a choice. They should have free will. That's my answer. I believe that it should be up to the people to decide what they want to do with their body. Is it all right? That's a respecter of person. Everybody has their difference of, but I think that legally the government should not dictate you being able to get an abortion or not.
I I think it's gonna be unanimous. I don't believe that abortion should be illegal. I don't think it should be illegal. Um, and this is my only rationale because I've been thinking about it all day. When I heard about it, off and on all day, um, it's because God gave us free will, and that's it. That's my only rationale for it. Um, God has given us free will, and no man, no woman, no country, no government has the right to take away someone's free will or freedom of choice. Um, even with how I believe in regards to people's rationale for doing it. Now, with the with free choice, it's two parts. That yep, you have that freedom to choose, but you do not have the freedom of the consequences that follow. Um, that's the unknown. Is the consequences after.
Yep.
And that's the one that nobody wants to deal with. But you can't do that. And that's why I said it's a problem with human nature, because we are so prone to only think about what makes us feel good, but don't understand that everything that makes us feel good or makes us think that we, woof, I dodged another bullet because you think you got away with it. The problem is that you
Yeah.
don't get away with nothing. You don't get away with things. Um, and all that being said, I could hear that, and I saw. That's why I wanted to put up there, because um, Kyra just said the same thing that Mac was saying as well. Speaking about, it's it's definitely a situational thing. Incest, rape, those should be. Let's go a little farther. If the mother is an extreme risk of dying and giving birth, those things should absolutely be rational causes to get the abortion. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
And now, do I agree? And this where Mac and me and Mac had talked about this.
Go ahead. I won't cut you. I'm just ready for you to talk about this. Go
Well,
ahead. I'm sorry.
It's,
I'm just so excited, like
it's
to
not
get
birth
this kind
control.
of thing out.
It's
Like,
not birth
Right.
control.
I'm
Come
just
on and
excited.
say that. Say that again. Yes.
Abortion is not and should never be used as a form of birth control. We're not talking about adults who are consistently sexually irresponsible to the point that you use abortion as a method of saying, I don't want to be pregnant, I don't want this kid. Then guess what? There's other methods that you can utilize if you do not wish to have any children at all. It's not, you don't get to pick and choose when you're rolling the dice. You don't get to pick and choose when you put a gun in your mouth and you playing Russian roulette where the bullet at. When you lay down in the bed with somebody and you're having sex unprotected or even using protection, I'll call it just like this. People say they believe in the freedom of choice, right?
Right.
And I do. I on my side would say, when you lay in the bed with someone butt naked, having hot, sweaty sex, you have made your choice.
I agree with that, but I know a lot of people are not, because they feel like I just wanted to have sex and I didn't want a baby. But that's the point of sex. God
That
made
comes
sex
with
for you to procreate.
Man, I ain't gonna hold you, but I put my dick on that dice table many nights.
There you go.
I
And
ain't
that's
gonna
where
hold you.
I'm going with that. I say, you get in the bed, you made your choice. You don't get to pick and choose in bed what you're gonna take and what you're not gonna take. Oh, you got AIDS? Let's scoop the AIDS out the sex and let's just have sex. It don't work like that. When you get in the bed and you lay down with somebody, you have made the choice that whatever is coming with them and what's coming with you, y'all engage in oneness. Guess what? Y'all sharing it. And if people stop being so damn dumb when it comes to sex, half of the situations, forget half, 70 to 80% of the situations people find themselves in, they wouldn't find themselves in because it would take the time to think about it before they did it. What we need now? Do everybody need to come with a warning label on them? This woman comes with she's fertile myrtle. You can spit on her stomach and she'll get pregnant.
Ooh.
So I'm just telling, I'm just saying, I'm telling people that it's a responsibility aspect. And you're not going to go stop. This is why I will tell young women. You can have a sexual appetite all you want to. You got your man too. If you want to go out here and have sex all the time, that is your God-given right. You have free will to do that. But you don't have a decision in regards to the consequences that occur for you making your choice. I know people who've been on birth control, and guess what? Some women don't take birth control right because they have the pill, they'll miss it and think they can just start right back. Nope, it don't work like that.
Nope.
You got women that take the shot, they miss it. Oh no, it don't work like that. No form of birth control has yet to say
100%.
100% effective.
Yep.
Period. None of them have said that.
That's how they protect her from that lawsuit.
There you go. Then that's why.
Yeah,
You've had women
99.9%.
who had their tubes tied and still gotten pregnant. You've had men who have been, who got clipped and still gotten somebody pregnant. To me, when it gets to that point, that means it's God's will. That's my opinion. Now, I ain't trying to be funny, but on the abortion aspect of it, yeah, you have a choice. But guess what? One time is a mistake. Let me say this again for everybody out there, especially for the people in the back row that ain't paying attention. One time, the first time, is a mistake. That's a living lesson. Learn from it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Those are habits. Those are habits.
Yeah, they're practices. You're practicing that.
You're practicing, period. You're practicing being irresponsible. Therefore, no. I think you are committing murder after that. You're committing murder because you don't want to. You're committing murder because you don't want the responsibility of it. That's, to me, is no different than a man kicking a woman down the stairs that's pregnant so you don't have to have a kid.
That plan C.
I'm just being honest. And I know people, we're going to say this, and I'll let, and then after this, Mac, you can take it, man. But this is my last point on this one. I mean, before we get into what we actually talking about, I just think that I believe in the rules when it comes to abortion because women hold all the cards when it comes to childbirth. And what I mean by that is that the rules are set up for women to say whether they want to have it or they don't want to have it, even though I think it's unfair because it takes two to create that life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I believe that if you have a man who wants to have the baby, but you don't want to have it, I believe that you should have the baby and sign over your rights to the baby to the father. That's me. Some women are like, what are you talking about? It's my body. I don't want to press it out. Okay, I got you. All right. If that's how you feel, then you got to be fair. You can't have equality when it's convenient for you. So
that's
that being said, if a man doesn't want the baby and a woman wants to have the baby, if that rule that it's your body, he shouldn't tell you what to do with it, it should apply to him. It's his wallet. He has a say-so on that kid. So if he say he don't want the kid and you still have the kid, you should have to sign an agreement that he is no longer legally responsible for the care and welfare of this child because he's already said he does not want to have it. If you put that rule into place, I guarantee you abortion clinics will either, one, be filled to capacity, or two, they wouldn't even talk about it no more. Or you have, well, no, better yet, you have people being very more cautious in regards to who they laying down in the bed with.
Absolutely.
You have people being more cautious. Women be like, wait. So if he wants the kid, so now we doing equality? Oh, no, we done with that. So that's all I'm saying. It says, women hold on. First of all, I'm going to say something that's going to be controversial, and it's all good because it's unfiltered. When it comes to sex, women hold all the cards.
Yep. You know what? And this is what I will say about that. And Randy and Fifi, we all been a part of it. It's been times where, I talk with a chick or whatever, and we about to get it on. I don't want to wear a condom. She look and see I don't want to wear a condom. And it happens. There's some women that just want to lay down with. Try to pull it off or not put it on. They say, hey, nope, you ain't getting to me with no condom. Or we ain't doing it. That's the kind of people you got. You got some people that's like, nah, I don't want to do it that way. Or even the guys like, hey, I ain't getting you with no condom. There's some people like, hey, I'm not touching you with no condom. As Some people, I'm like, well, I'll risk it. So, like I said, they definitely hold all the cards. Once they say no, it's rape after that.
It's rape.
Or hell, one after that. Like, I mean, that's what it is. So you definitely right. They hold all the cards.
And see, and the other part of that, women don't want to hear this part. Women hold all the cards when it comes to sex, but men hold all the cards when it comes to relationships.
Mm.
And I'm just being honest. You hold all the cards when it comes to relationships. So it's two different types of it when it go on, but that's going to a whole other subject. But all I would say
So,
on that is that that's where I would say in regards to abortion.
so
Now, that's
let me
crazy.
go ahead and touch on this this abortion thing, right? And I think this ain't trying to be woke or super political, everything like that. But let's just say that if this happens to go through and to make abortion illegal, this law passes, bill passed. If something like this passed, then what could be next? Like interracial marriage, gay marriage, slavery. There's nothing opposed. If 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 the government can tell you what to do with your body, or tell you what's illegal to do with your body, they can essentially control you. To me, it's kind of like, hey, let's look one way while we do something on the other way. You know what I mean? Like like pay attention to this because we really focused on this. So at the end of the day, like I said, all the stuff to me has an agenda. So I could be reaching, I could be tripping. I mean, but that's just what I think. I think there's a little bit more coming along with this whole Roe versus Wade and this legalizing or illegalizing abortion.
I think you 100 is right on.
Yeah,
I think
I
you
just
100
want
is right
to
on.
give an unpopular opinion because I'm always gonna come with Jesus first and forever. Okay, if
Mm-hmm.
we do it God's way, the way He intended it when He created sex, half of this stuff that we talking about wouldn't even be a conversation because we would do it in the parameters that He set forth, where we would be in a married relationship in a covenant that is actually sacred, not what people doing today, where everybody talking about they just get married. No, where it's a God-led thing and it's in the parameters that He wanted it to be in. You ain't got to worry about getting caught with getting STDs and all these crazy things because we ain't gonna be out here with everybody. We just gonna be with whoever we're in the marriage with, and you ain't got to worry about all this extra stuff. But in reality, we know people want to feel good. They want to do what they want to do. So, like we already said, you're going to have to deal with that consequence. If this is made legal, the biggest consequence is that you're going to have a lot of women that's going to become criminals because they're going to choose to do what's best for them. Even though it's illegal to get an abortion, I know that I'm not about to let this kill me, or I know that I got raped. And every time if I do give birth to this child, every time I look at the child, I'm going to have hate for this child and I'm not going to love it like I'm supposed to love it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It gets deep because that's some women. Other women, they'll just say, you know what? It wasn't the child's fault. So I'll give it up for adoption. I'll be able to give the child to someone else who's going to love and care for it because I know I can't. Because of how it happened. Because of the trauma that I got to deal with and that I got to get over. And I'm going to care about the child's well-being, but I can't be the child's parent right now. I can't do it. That's where it gets tricky because the law is not thinking about every single, like we said, every single circumstance or situation. They're just thinking, we want to be in control. And because we want to be in control and we make the rules, we're going to, again, to me, it's like this. If you're going to have a vote with the people that is going to affect the most. Don't have it with a vote where people who it ain't going to affect them because all of them, majority of them are men, and they don't know what it's like to have a baby. They don't understand the emotional attachment to it. They don't understand none of that. Let it be women who actually have to give birth be the ones to make the decision.
Sounds fair to me.
But it all goes back to like I said, the unpopular opinion is if we start doing things the way that God intended for it to be done, we wouldn't have to worry about all this.
Yeah, I agree with that. The point in regards to, when you do things out of order, you're gonna get disorder.
Chaos comes in when you do things out of order. It's that
So
simple.
I agree with that, and I heard what you were saying, people. I have, like I said, I heard with and you know what, and because I want to put this comment up there because I think this comment is loaded with a lot of truth. Because I think men do too. Um, I don't. Okay, definitely not all women. It's never all men and all women. Whatever we talk about, it's not all. But sometimes I feel like women want equality when it's beneficial. Outside of that, they want to have behind the
Yeah,
cloak. They want to have behind the cloak of womanhood. And I agree. Men do not have to carry around a baby. They don't. They don't have to carry around a baby. But there is no baby without a man. He carries a seed. It's a two-part process. And
facts.
I think where we messed up along the way is that we wanted to say one parent is more important than the other. And we've been having this for a long time. And it's simply completely incorrect. And it go right back to what you said, Fifi, is we have got to get to the place where we just stop doing things out of order. The excuse of it feels good is an excuse a child makes. It's a time for adults to be adults and stop thinking with childish mindsets.
It's that immaturity.
It's just it's not it's destroying us. Like I see here, like I was going to debate. I'm putting this up here, um, Kyra. What you said, I hear you on that point. Women have to deal with being sick for months, body changes, things that may never go back to normal, losing sleep, work because they are physically unable to do so. I like to see a man try to sleep with a bowling ball. See, when you say that comment, that's when I think you're making it personal. And it's not being personal. It's saying, it seems like you might be trying to say, since a man doesn't carry around a kid for 9 months, his involvement in any process about the kid is meaningless. And I call cap on that.
And well, that's far from the truth.
Yeah,
That ain't
I call cap on that.
absolutely not.
And I
Mm-mm.
think that I understand the part where, I think it's some things that, it was saying where it was saying that men, some men change their mind. And I would tell women, guess what? Some women change their mind. Some women use their kids as credit cards.
Yep.
I mean,
That's a fact.
we
And
got
that
to
is
speak. We
unfortunate.
gonna speak on it. And I'm not trying to make it a man versus woman thing. We trying to get to the actual part of it. Whereas the worst when it comes to this is that you wouldn't have to worry about abortion. You wouldn't have to worry about these things only in those situations of rape and incest, which are statistically and percentage very low. They don't even account for the majority of the things. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 10%. Either way, 1% is still have rape, and incest. And I'm not trying to belittle that. Or health conditions. Health conditions is more prone than rape and incest. Absolutely. If it means that woman going to lose her life, unfortunately, she would be the last one to say she want her baby to die because she would want her baby to be here. That's a hard decision for them to make. That's why women, when they have postpartum, that's for real. Women go through some real hard depression with that. So I understand that, and I appreciate that for our ladies. But ladies, men go through them circumstances too.
Yeah.
They just, it ain't talked about it. Men go into shutdown mode.
Yeah.
They go into shutdown mode. That is for real. I think what happens is women think because they're more open with their feelings, men don't have feelings. That's not true. Men have them. They just don't know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
And I believe for the most part, women don't know how to deal with them. I think we're all a
That's
bunch
true
of
too.
species who are learning how to deal with situations that are new to you.
Yep.
And I think that when it comes to abortion, like, I think the best way I've heard it so far is exactly what Miss Hill said. If we just did everything for the most part the way it was meant to be done, if we stopped driving a car with our damn feet, can you drive a car with your feet? Hell yeah. But it ain't a good fucking idea. If you stop doing it the way it was not meant to be done, I'm sorry, that makes sense. If we got to learn how to stop doing things the way that it was not meant to be done. That makes sense, right? That sounds better. I think.
Yeah.
And we have to start doing them in better ways. We have to be like, and I say this all the time, and people made fun of me, except for, first of all, I want to say one thing. I am the oldest of, what I'm saying, my group. I got a lot of brothers and a lot of other young men that look up to me, and I've been like the first one to experience things. And I take great pride and pleasure in going through those processes, because now I can go back to the people I love the most and say, man, this is my experience with it. This is where I struggled. And I want to let you know, so that way you'll get there. At least you'll have a leg up. You'll know what to experience, because you still have to go through it yourself.
Right.
So I want to just want to tell people, for the most part, is that we're not trying to be a goody two shoes, or not trying to say that people is imperfect, because I think people start pointing fingers and saying that stuff. Oh, you act like you're perfect. Shut the hell up. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, just like everyone else, we are flawed and we make bad choices.
Yep.
You got the opportunity to make a mistake, but then you got to learn from it. And like we said, if you repeat it, then it's a habit that you're forming that you enjoy. And I know that sounds stupid, but some people enjoy making mistakes. Some people enjoy doing the same thing over and over again, because it becomes a form of, that's why people become crackheads and cokeheads. They're addicted. That's why people stay smoking cigarettes sometimes. They're addicted to it. Like, man, I know this is killing me inside. Even going to their deathbed, some people are like, man, I'm still smoking this cigarette. God rest her soul. My neighbor at COPD, all the way through her deathbed until she got in the hospital, was still smoking all the way there. I'm like, you still ain't gonna stop it, right? That's when we all have to start holding each other accountable. Like, man, you need to stop it. You want to feel better? Then stop doing everything that's killing you.
Well, see that you hit it on the head right there, because the whole root of all of this is people do not want to do what may be the best for them, because they enjoy what they like more than that.
Right.
That's just like people who have health issues, and it's all, your health can heal and go, your issues can disintegrate as long as you stay consistent. They say go on a diet for a year and only eat these kind of foods, and you'll have 20 more years added to your life. That sounds real easy and great, but people don't do it because it's the mental. They're like, no, I want my chicken. No, I want my grease. No, I want my fried food. No, I want this. Even though I'm going to have more years on my life, and all you telling me is all I got to do is just eat this instead of and not eat that. That's the root of it.
Right.
People don't want to deny themselves of what they think is pleasure, even though it may have a consequence. They don't want to do that. Yeah. And that's the underlining. It's just, we got to understand that we don't know what's best for ourselves, even though we think we do.
Right. That's a big one.
And then if you think you do, look at every time you made a choice or a decision, and look at how it fully played out to the end. Not just a moment of it where it was good, but all the way to the end. How did it end at the end? Majority of the time when we make choices and decisions and we don't consult God, we don't get wise counsel, they be trash choices and decisions. We have horrible consequences. But when we actually seek wise counsel and we seek God, the outcome be kind of different. We have better things coming out of that. It's fruitful. We ain't got to keep learning the hard way.
I hate to say it, but you are 100% right. That's the difficult part, cuz.
Yep. I ain't got nothing to say on that. Shit. Ding ding. I ain't got nothing to say on that. Because I know me and you, Phoebe, had talked about it. I'm just talking about getting right back into a workout regimen and getting back healthy. And it wasn't because of nothing else, but other than me saying, man, I got to take accountability for some of the things I've done. And I need to get it together. And oh man, it's just we gotta make better choices, man. And more importantly, we gotta make better choices of who we decide to have kids with. We gotta make better choices of deciding who we go and lay in the bed with. We gotta make it, we have to overrule pleasure with a hellacious person. And we gotta say, I want you know what I'm saying, long lasting pleasure with somebody that is, you know, is going to be full of peace. They're going to bring peace to you. Because if you always got to go get an abortion because you didn't want a kid, a lot of that has to be because you don't like the person you had a kid, you're going to have a kid with. Because I couldn't imagine asking a woman that I love with all my heart, that I could never see living my life without, telling her to go get an abortion. It wouldn't happen. One, because I just don't believe in it. I believe I wouldn't want to torture myself for the rest of my life. That's how sensitive I am on that. With the thought of never ever knowing that my kid, what could have been the possibility of my kid outside of my wife's health. I couldn't do it. But I'm not everybody, and I know every situation is different. I just pray that, you know, we don't allow this to distract us from what really is going on. And that is that we're about to see the biggest move in government history of laws being changed, of judgments being overruled than we've ever seen in history. And it wasn't brought about by the Republicans. It was brought about by the Democrats and the rest of the Republicans. Let's get one thing straight. Just like Max said, and I'm rushing through this because I want to make sure that people can understand this part of it. This is not about Roe versus Wade. This is about power, period. It's about saying we have a power to control laws and change big decisions that at one time were very controversial with America as a whole, and we're going to change it. You don't believe it? Look at some of the biggest judgments. Brown versus the Board of Education. That's segregation, people. That's going to come up on the ballots. That's going to come up. And guess what? It don't matter about votes because the highest court in the land decides those things. When you go out and vote, your decision's already made. When you put someone in office, the president gets to nominate somebody for the Supreme Court. Then they got to be confirmed through the Senate. Not even the House of Representatives, through the Senate. So when you put people in office, you've already made your choices. See, we tend to forget that over 200 new judges were put in place while Donald Trump was in office. On federal circuit courts, over 200 conservative judges were put in place. You want to know why it was so important to them? Because the justice system rules this country outside of money.
Yep.
They knew. They're like, man, they want governors. We don't want governors. We want to put judges in place. We want to put jurors in place. I mean, we want to put judges and everything in place, and some of the boards, so we can make sure that we got the power. It's power in law and legislative branch and the judicial branch. So those are the biggest things. Like I said, just look in the most recent. I just looked up just for people's knowledge, and look it up right now. I said, what are the most controversial Supreme Court cases we've ever had? Brown versus Education. I know, like, because I'm just, I'm a historic person like that. But Brown versus Education, that was back in what, May 1954. Keep in mind, I know we say 1954, but that's not that long ago, y'all.
No, it's not.
1954, Supreme Court unanimously declared state laws that established separate public schools for black and white students unconstitutional. Guess what you think is going to be happening now? You don't think people don't like that? That pissed people off. I'm just trying to be honest. We got a whole, it's so many different things when you go through it. You look, you can look up some of the most cases. I'm looking at some of these things. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna name a couple. Y'all do the research. Y'all look it up so y'all can see what was going to be happening. You got Miranda versus the state of Arizona, Marbury versus Madison, District of Columbia versus Heller, Citizens of the United States versus the Federal Election Commission. Hello. They're going to start putting stuff in place now. They're going to get things overturned.
Yep.
They already started in Georgia when they changed voting laws. This is what's coming up. They saw the power of the vote. We had more people vote in the history of our presidential election than ever at any time during history.
Mm-hmm.
The winner got the most votes ever in history. The loser got the second most votes
ever.
I just want to say this is so important because it's ignorance. Yeah. We don't know so many things, and we're so distracted by the stuff that don't matter. This is how it's just easy to. They're laughing. They're like, this is the easiest. Take the cake from the baby I've ever had in life. Like they're just easing this because we're not educated. We're focused on trying to wear name brand clothes and get the bag. And they're taking over the world and the country, and they're deciding our future.
When you just said that, Fifi, I thought about one thing. How powerful is your bag if they declare that you ain't even a person?
I'm telling y'all, that's where it's going.
How powerful is your bag if they say that you're just property? Property can't have power. Property can't have money. What y'all think? Y'all think that they forgot about that? You don't think that they mad? Let's think about a couple things.
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. You being an employee versus you being a business owner, that's slavery right there.
Right.
And it ain't no downgrade or down judgment or down speaking about nobody or what they're doing. But this is how the society is set up. They purposely set you up as an employee because now you don't have any freedom over your time. They control how much money you get per hour or salary. You are capped at some point. As a business entrepreneur, again, I'm just talking about looking at laws. If you look at it, when you look at taxes is set up to benefit the business owner.
Right.
They have all these different write-offs and things that you can do as a business owner because that's what they want. They encourage that because that's helping their economy. That's helping you to be able to employ people under you so that you can keep the dollar going, keep the dollar circulating. They have all these grants and stuff for all these businesses. Be a nonprofit, be an LLC, be all these things, and they just throwing money at you.
Right.
Even look at what happened during the pandemic. People with unemployment benefits, it took a lot of people a long time to get them benefits. But when they started coming out with them PPP loans, the businesses and big corporations was out here balling out of control. They ain't even need no money.
Balling. I think even the Los Angeles Lakers took out a loan. They end up giving it back, so they say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like you said.
We're
We got to
ignorant.
be bigger.
We got to pay attention. We got to get educated and stop being lazy because we focus on what they're putting in front of us. Even look at, okay, this is my last thing because y'all got me on one. Look at the whole thing that's going on that started the conversation when we're talking about celebrities and entertainers being bum rushed. That's a whole distraction.
Oh.
Because we so focused on this, but they over here making laws. We don't even know everything you just said about the Senate, about the House of Representatives. We don't even know how the government judicial system is even set up. We didn't even know it was different parts and branches.
Right.
Even though they taught us that in elementary school, we didn't understand the importance and the value in it and why that was necessary to be learned.
Right.
And how it controls us as citizens of the United States. We got to start paying attention and we got to wake up. Everybody want to be like, I'm woke. All this stuff. Okay, well, wake up for real. Let's get woke for real.
On real.
Let's pay attention for real, because we walking around acting like mindless zombies, and we don't understand we're being controlled every day. As soon as we turn that TV on, as soon as we get on social media, we're being controlled. The advertisers and the marketers are putting what they want in front of us. That's why all these black people are being so excited. These young kids is being rappers. Okay, but the industry is controlling what you're rapping about. You don't have freedom. You signed a contract. So you have to do whatever they're telling you to do in order to get this money. And that's why a lot of kids and a lot of artists who have talent, look at why they on drugs all the time. Look at why they partying all the time. Look at why they depressed and they commit suicide. Because they don't have freedom. It's limited. It's a cap to it. Yeah, we'll give you this money, but you got to do this stuff for us. We need you to make 25 albums, and no, you can't create what you want to talk about. And this got to be your topics. You got to give us 25 albums before we release you.
Right.
And you don't even have rights to these albums. We own albums and everything.
We own masters and everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just trying to help us to pay attention and wake up and catch it. That was just one of the small examples of how we're still being controlled, and we think that we free.
It's 100. It ain't no way that you can say it. It's 100. Like, cause I see that comment you just put on there. Fake images. It's the best thing ever. It's the illusion. That's all they want. It's like we want to give you the image. We want to give you the image. Give them the image because they don't really understand what goes behind closed doors and what really is going on. And then everyone who bringing attention to it. And I used this for example one time. I didn't. Oh, dang, Randy! If you say this, man, forget it. It's unfiltered, and it ain't nothing they ain't done already. This is when I remember when I kept seeing Facebook not letting people view me, putting restrictions on the show. And for a minute, I was going back and forth looking like, man, why they restricting my show? What did I say? And I realized that, on top of maybe people that might have said something, algorithms, see, you got to be careful when that's why when people say, oh, they crazy, I'm careful about people that call other people crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, that don't sound too crazy to me. It just, you want to shrug it off as crazy because either you don't really understand it or you don't like it.
Yep, that's it. Ding,
And
ding, ding.
I am somebody that want to, I'm like, because, like I tell people on the show, I'm like, well, we don't get in here. And I remember people's getting upset. And Matt, you can account for this. People were trying to wonder, man, how they keep getting thousands of views? They ain't got nobody shaking no ass. They ain't got nobody doing all this.
No.
They ain't just not doing that. We
ain't talking about
just bringing some concrete information, and then all of a sudden, it was restriction. Like, what I got a restriction? Why we can't be right here and this and that? And I'm still grateful for the people that still find a way, even when I'm getting in the system and looking and finding a way and pushing it out there. I'm still grateful for it because it's still working because we're in several other different countries, not just the U.S. So glory be to God. But we have got to be, like you said, we got to stop having this trendy belief of what being woke is. Like you said, it's a trendy. We need to understand that it's something deeper that's going on behind, and it's for real. Just like Mac was attributing to. He's like, man, this is deeper than just Roe versus Wade. If they do this with this, they gonna do some other stuff. They could run the risk of bringing segregation back to it. Personally, they've already done it, started doing it.
Yeah, it's all just a trial run.
It's just like, okay, let's
It's
see how
all
it
just
is.
a trial run, I'm telling you.
Yep. And guess what? Why you think they was putting women? You had a woman go to jail because she lied about where she lives so her kid can have a better education. Oh, you threw her in jail.
Now that's crazy.
You threw her in jail because she
It's
wanted her
true.
kid to have a better education? Because that was fraudulent. What is fraudulent is that you made this ruling so long ago about Brown versus Board of Education. But y'all decide to say, well, we're going to make it, everybody going to be intricate. We're going to make it equal in the terms of black and whites could go to school together. But in certain zip codes, we ain't making those the education equal. We see it.
That part.
They've done it.
Yep.
Farmington Hills. Is it black people in Farmington Hills? Absolutely. But what's the bigger percentage of people that's out there? Detroit, Michigan. You got people that say, man, these schools are bad. We don't want to go there. And you know what? I'm going to be even more controversial. That's where they put all the new teachers at.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
They had them do
100%.
their student teachers.
100%. That's what all
They
of
this
that's
is
where
how
they
the
need it.
education system is set up. They have you do your student teaching at a nice school. You feel like, oh, I'm going to be an amazing teacher and I'm going to impact and do all these things. And then they send you straight to Detroit Public Schools.
But granted though, what I will say about that particular one, and I will get back on topic, but like they go for where they actually need teachers or people who think that like they have enough spunk enough to want to go ahead and actually teach kids before you actually drained out like, all right, well, you know what, I think I'm good. So I actually do see why they send the new watch out, baby. Why they send new teachers to public schools. I do see that. But I
It's
I don't
the
have a
intent
problem with
behind
public
it,
school.
though. It's the intent behind it. That's the issue. They're making it seem like, oh, this is good. We're going to let you train in the good stuff, and then we're going to send you to the bad stuff. Detroit Public Schools is not bad. It's just that they do not put time, energy, and effort, that same equality that they put into these other schools, plus the money and the funding. They don't do that with Detroit Public Schools.
No, I agree. No, I agree. Like I said, like I'm not discrediting your point because it's absolutely true. I'm just saying, like I see that too. But no, you absolutely right, cuz you're absolutely right.
It's 100 in the terms of, it's just we got so much, like I said, we got so many things else. I'm gonna put those 10 cases on there on our page. I just want y'all to really please, man, take a look at the I'm trying to digress from one thing is that I don't want to get me getting passionate should never come across as I'm going to degrade anybody. But I want y'all to care enough just for yourself to look up the information. Do what y'all said y'all was doing. I never heard so many people say do the research into that damn COVID shot. And I'm like, you motherfuckers failed science class. What fucking research you doing? This is what I mean when I say really doing some research. And when I mean, forget the word research. Throw that out the way. Look it up and see for yourself. Look up and see those cases that pissed off poor white America and the 1% so much that they can't believe, like, man, we got to get these changed. They make it fair game. I'm gonna tell you what this abortion law, it's gonna start a chain reaction. You're gonna start seeing women, and I'm telling you, this is how you know. Oh, I don't want to say that. I'm gonna tell you this: women made one big flaw mistake. Oh man, I ain't gonna say that. Okay, let's go to this next one. I just don't want to say. I don't want to say that part. I'm just gonna tell people it's more than just Roe versus Wade. It's deeper than that. And when you set precedents that you could change one thing, all you're doing is setting the precedents that you could change other things. And that's what we need to be careful of. So in all that you're gonna do, um, God saying all you're getting, get understanding. That's all I'm gonna say. Get some understanding to whatever else is going on, and pay attention and don't go, don't go for the banana in the tailpipe. Get out the car, take that banana out. Um, I want to get to this one. Um, because I be feeling for people, man. I feel for people because it's hard to get over some heartbreak, right? Everybody been over, no matter what what it is. But we really talking about in just flat out relationships. Um, it is a really crazy thing. Uh, when you're in love with somebody and feel like the rug get pulled from underneath you, or that you was blindsided, or that you was disappointed, and you trying to figure out why didn't I see that coming. I think that's one of the biggest things I hear most people say, especially when they have situations where relationships and things of that nature, like, dang, I didn't see that coming. Or you just surprised by maybe the fact the other person don't want to fight as hard as you do. Uh, I could speak from just being heartache from the jump because you really don't have an answer for it. It's different when you see something coming. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking down the road, you see the headlights of a truck, the truck coming down the street, right? You see the truck coming. But love ain't that, relationships ain't that simple. It's just not. It start off that y'all might be on a good path, seeing things going, and then one thing come up, and it's like boom. It's life changing in a relationship for you. Whether it be from divorce, whether it be from broken friendship again, never see dark coming, and it's just difficult. So, in all honesty, can anybody even remotely say if heartbreak is so horrible and it's such a sick disease, man, what's some of the things that can help remedy it? I mean, let's be honest, man, it is tough. Heartbreak is tough, especially heartbreak between man and a woman. Um, it could be between your kids, and we talking about everything. Your kids, it could be about friendship, brother and sister, best friend. It could be everything because it's nothing worse than when somebody breaks your heart. See, everybody can't break your heart. And I don't, that saying is so crazy, but I've actually experienced that heartbreak where it's that gut wrenching. So, I mean, man, to everybody out there, because some people say a lot of stuff like I'm heartbroken. Now, I think some people kind of um allow too many people in too fast. I do believe that. I think we definitely need to be careful about who you let in. Some people are very trusting and they allow a lot of stuff to go on and they take it in as they see fit. And they should be slow it down and just kind of calm. But sometimes it ain't that. Sometimes you do have relationships and it's bad. It's going good, then all of a sudden, boom, somebody go a whole 180. What y'all thoughts on that?
I mean, for me, I just think that heartbreak, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your gender, sexuality, all these titles, whatever, it doesn't matter, ethnicity, it don't matter. You feel it. You feel it. And I think, to be honest, if I'm being honest, even though that is one of the most painful things that you experience in life, heartbreak is devastating. I believe how you learn how to cope with it is the most important thing to really save a life. And I'm saying that as in, like, some people can't come back from heartbreak.
Woo! Don't say that, Fifi.
I'm being honest.
Don't
Some people
crush me. Don't crush me.
I'm not. I'm being truthful. No filter, okay? Some people cannot come back. And I'm saying that because they don't know how to cope with it, which is why they
Man,
can't come back from it.
that is so true. That
And
is so
some
true.
people can bounce back from it. No. For number one, when you have heartbreak, this is the most important part. You have to understand off rip. You have to go through the process and all the feels and emotions and mental parts of healing after a heartbreak. You cannot go through a heartbreak and then jump into another relationship or try to find something to numb that pain or ignore that pain, because
Dang,
that's how the death comes faster,
that's true.
because you're not addressing and dealing with it. It is hard, it is ugly, it is the most heaviest, hurtful, devastating thing, but you have to go through that process after the heartbreak. You have to. You have to. And the thing is, when you go through the heartbreak and the process of the heartbreak, it's an unknown territory. You don't know how it's going to look. You don't know how it's going to go. You don't know how much time it's going to take, but you have to commit to going through the process after that heartbreak. And you have to be careful who you let around you once you've been heartbroken, because that's the other part that determines how you're going to come through or not. Because if you got people around you, so let's make it relevant. A lot of us have went through heartbreak in relationships. If you got people around you who are yes people, when you in your lowest point and you thinking about negative things and you just dogging that person or whoever, and you just can only focus on all the stuff they did wrong, like the whole relationship was just bad, even though you had a lot of good times. But right now you're in pain. You can only think about the negative things. You do not need people around you who are going to agree with you on those negative things, because it's not going to help you come out of that. You don't need people who gonna be like, yeah, he was trash, girl. He was a trash man, and she was a trash female, and they only tried to use you anyway. You don't need that, because that's not gonna elevate you. That's not gonna help you come out of your heartbreak faster. That's gonna
Oh
push
my
you
God.
deeper down into your heartbreak.
Oh my
Yep.
That's gonna
God.
Because
Stop.
then,
Stop.
because what that
Stop.
do is that
Stop.
make you don't look at yourself.
Stop.
You
Jesus.
just
Stop.
we coming
Yes.
for the real. We
My
trying to
chest.
get real with it,
Yes.
okay?
I ain't even. I'm telling the reason why I'm telling you to stop is because the junk too good, and I'm trying to record everything at the same time. I got a recorder right here recording your voice because I'm about to put this on there because you know why it's hurt. Mac said it before I was going before I said it, because I had to take my picture down. I had to take my video off for a second. I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't say that. I couldn't even say that. I was holding my breath. I had to get my breath back in the system because it's true.
Yeah.
It's, man, heartbreak is, whoo, it's like
It's a
somebody,
monster.
man. Fifi,
I
man,
think
I'm
you
done.
said it
I ain't
best
got
when
nothing
you
else. I'm
said
putting
it's like
myself
an
on mute. I'm
unknown
putting myself on
territory.
mute.
I think that subtle thing you said was very like effective. Like like we think we all deal with a typical like, oh my god, we're gonna cry, be hurt today, and eat some ice cream and get over it. You got some people who deal with heartbreak and they want to go ahead and kill themselves, kill everybody, kill the world, act crazy. And it's like you don't know where it'll bring you. I and I don't want to even go ahead and jump like to my answer, but like
Go ahead.
if a couple remedies that I think that could help it is one, being in tune with God. Like I said, that's just my personal remedy. Get in tune with God, and one, actually knowing and loving yourself, because
Yeah.
that's where it starts. Because you
Yeah.
don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. You can, like I said, you can see your flaws, or you can actually see, like, you know what? Hey, this is meant to be. This is how I could have saved it. or hey, you know what, this is where I am. Maybe this wasn't meant for me to happen. Everybody has a season. Everybody has their time. Sometimes, like you have the season of where you meet that person where you're supposed to be with them. Sometimes you meet that person that has a season of where hey, I learned this from you, and this is where I'm growing from you. So, like I said, I think that's the remedy. One, to get closer with God, or get more in tune with yourself. But
I'm not listening to neither one of y'all.
like
I'm
the
done. I'm done. I'm
man,
done.
that's Fifi's fault, man.
I'm
Stop.
Listen,
done.
dog,
That's
listen,
Fifi's
I'm
y'all
fault,
know
done.
I'm
man.
coming with the
I'm done.
That's Fifi's
understanding of
fault,
how
dog.
stuff is
I,
set
I,
up.
I was just trying to live. That's
We
Fifi's fault,
can't
man.
listen. We unfiltered. We can't be surface level out here. We got to go deep. I'm gonna take us deep every time
Woo.
because
Shoot,
seriously, this
man.
this is something that's affecting so many of us, and we wonder why we have mental health issues. The mental health issues come from not dealing with heartbreak.
Dang.
And you know what's crazy? Like when you break that up, Fifi, like and when we first when topic first came up, when we was talking about heartbreak, I was thinking, about relationships, men, women, blah blah blah. Get get your hand out of there, please. Like men and women and all this other stuff. But like, it kind of think about it, and when you break it up, I think like the person that really broke my heart the most is my dad. And I think about, I was like, man, like you know what, like just even like dealing with rejection, like wow, if he can reject me, I really don't have no problem with anybody else rejecting me. Like like I can I can be okay when I be wanted because hell, I feel like he ain't want me. So like, it feels different. You know what I'm saying? Or like I'm even up to like if a woman breaks my heart because it's like, you all right, if I don't know how much this person could or could not love me. You know what I'm saying? But like, if somebody who like you said, it hurt different with somebody who love you or supposed to love you do it. So like I said, it doesn't have to start with a relationship. It can start with abandonment issues where, hey, this is your mom and she leaves you. Hell, you can expect anybody else to leave you, so you don't
Right.
really try your best, or you really don't put forth that effort, or you
Right.
don't really, even attempt to give somebody a chance to open up to them because you already in defense mode, or you already think, okay, well, hey, this person get me to this place, I want nobody else to get me deeper into it. So this is where I'm at.
Yeah, that's where the unhealthy behaviors and habits form because you don't know what to do with the heartbreak. So then you decide, okay, I want to be guarded. I don't want to feel this again. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to try to survive, to try to make it. And I believe that's, like I said, why so many people have these. We talked about everything that we talk about is rooted in like unhealthy patterns, unhealthy behavior, people lashing out. Number one, that's Will Smith right now. He had so many heartbreaks, he ain't never dealt with them. That's why he slapped Chris Rock. That's why it happened. Because he didn't deal with the heartbreak of all this stuff. Because he ain't know how to deal with it. And to answer your question, it ain't no real answer to just be like, this is all you do and that's it. No, it depends on you as a person and what is your path in your journey. It's gonna be different for everybody. But I agree with what Max said. You gotta know that God is somebody you can lean on and depend on. And I know that a lot of people have other beliefs and other faiths and other religions and all these things, but God is the one who's really going to show up for you and come through.
Yep.
Jesus is going to be the one to console you and comfort you when your heart is broken. Not this fake church, not hurting people that be at church. I'm talking about God and Jesus. Because a lot of people have separated themselves or went out to find all these other things because of heartbreak from church people who are not God and Jesus. I'm done. I'm gonna stop right there. All I'm gonna say is I agree with Mac. We need to come to God and we need to ask him to help us. We need to cry out to him, be honest and truthful, snot and ugly. Give him all of our heart, everything, all of us, so that he can help us to get it together. He can help us to have strength. He can help us to live again and see peace and see joy and not just be not alive. Because to be honest, a lot of us are not alive. We may smile, you may see us, but we're not really living. We just going through the motions, going day to day. We're not thriving. We just putting on the mask. We just putting on the face. We code switching, however you want to claim it or say it or title it. That's what we're doing through life instead of having real peace and real joy and real happiness. So we need to go to God, and we need to actually start looking at ourselves and loving ourselves.
And I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna tell you. I can tell you what just happened between Mr. Reese and Miss Hills. Is so much detailed and truthful and honest information y'all just shared. The cast wanted to get him out of here. He's like, man, we can't handle this. I'm telling you,
Man,
man,
I'm
I done
telling
seen it
you,
happen
I'm
before.
telling you, it's doing it because I was just sitting there and like, and I'm listening to Fifi, and I noticed I wasn't even on here no more. I'm like, what happened?
It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's every single thing y'all saying. I'm just sitting back listening because I'm like, that's just 100. It ain't nothing. You can't solidly say what the cure is. I definitely know. I 100% believe I know God. What you're saying. You got to. Wherever you believe, that higher power, that deep seated belief system that you have, you got to lean on it. And the rest of that, whew, I don't know. I know people don't want to hear this, but you got to walk it out. And that's tough. But you got to walk it out, man, because that heartbreak, man, I'm going to tell you. And you know what? I realized from heartbreak, I know I ain't the only one. You be sitting there like, oh my God, I can't do this today.
Mm-hmm.
You be like, I can't do it. I just can't do it today. Sometimes you just wake up and be like, man, let me just go back to sleep because I can't do this today. I'd rather just sleep. Hopefully I can sleep my way through it. If you're lucky to get sleep.
Yeah.
Some heartbreaks be some cringing.
Torment.
It's
Yep.
whoo, God, man. Don't got me all jacked up
Yeah.
saying all these words. She said monster, torment. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoo. The words
Seriously.
it's just
Because, and I'm choosy about the words I say because I understand the power in what they hold and what they mean.
yep.
It's beyond just what we see. Spiritual.
It's the worst thing. Like you said, it's one of the worst. It's worse because you can feel it, but you can't see it. Oh God, man. Nobody, you can tell people. People might be able to see it by the look on your face. Some people you ain't gonna see it by the look on their face.
Yeah.
Some people you just would not imagine, and I've seen a lot of comments. I appreciate every single one of the comments that we had tonight, and I'm loving them. Um, I'll say one thing is that, man, you will never get over heartbreak. I'm trying to find it. I said you'll never get over heartbreak. Yep, it says if you can't learn to be by yourself,
Mm.
man. And people don't really think about that part, but I tell people this. I'm like, man, I have to learn how to be by myself and love myself and enjoy yourself because if you can't enjoy being around you alone, nobody else is. But the other part, like you said, you'll never recover from heartbreak if you can't learn to love yourself and be by yourself. You'll never recover from heartbreak because it's all that heartbreak is about a distrust and about an emptiness. Um, it's just crushing. It'll have you. It's paralyzing.
Yep.
You'll be like, "Whoa, what's going on? Like this is just hard." You will be in a room with 100 people and still feel alone.
Yep.
You think it's an optical illusion. You'll still be craving to go home and get away from everybody, but you don't want to be with nobody. That's why
Yep.
heartbreak is a gateway to depression.
Yep.
It's a certain gateway to depression. So I would just, like I tell people out there, we don't have answers. We don't have all the answers at all. If we're walking through, I could definitely tell y'all that, getting through it took God for me. It took God.
Same. Yeah.
Mac said it right off the bat. Like, man, you gotta have God because He's got to show you your self-worth. He's got almost like he's kind of rejuvenate you in your self-worth
Yeah.
of what you got going on. Like, bam, like, come on now. It's almost like he talking you off the cliff. He talking
That's
you off
what
the
it
ledge.
is.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
talking you off the ledge. Like, I'm telling you, this is gonna pass. It's gonna take some time. And the first part, I can say it ain't no remedy, but the first part I know I did, man. I had to admit that I was heartbroken. Coming
That's
from
the
myself.
hardest part.
I just didn't want to admit it. I'm like, man, I'm straight. Like, you lying, you is straight. Guys do it a lot. Women do it too. Women do it and men do it. We all do it. This ain't a man-woman thing. This it's a crusher. Whether it be an ex or a relationship or friends. Actually, my worst heartbreak came from friend. I ain't know how to handle it. It didn't come from a woman. It came from friend.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, man, like you look at guys, you're like, man, out of everybody in this world, I would have never put money that I thought you'd be that person. It's a crusher. You'll be like, man, what just happened? So, I mean, I just tell people, y'all, for me myself, I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't have a remedy. I had to walk it out. I had to walk it out. I had to get honest with myself about some things. I had to stop treating people as if they were the person that I was so upset with. I had to realize that they're not the same person. And you have to you really have I had to you really got to work your way through the motions because there's some exercise and a lot of that stuff is exercise some things out. It's hard, but it's tough. Heartbreak is one of those tough ones, man. It really is this is one of them tough ones because you could be heartbroken. I think forgiveness is a key. I'm putting that right there. I believe you. Forgiveness. Because what you're doing is that I think what forgiveness is that you breaking the chain that's connecting you to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that for myself. I'm like, you breaking the chain and you also breaking a little bit of the control that you have allowed whatever that situation or that person to have, you done broke it off of them. Even though they may not be trying to have that control. They might have moved on with their life. But yeah, I think forgiveness is the ultimate. Forgiveness has always been to help you.
Yeah.
It's always been. Whoever is the one that's saying, man, like the forgiveness has always been for the benefit of, what I'm saying, whoever's hurt. It's always for that. Not the other person. Not the victimizer, but for the victim. That's what that's for. So yeah, I just think that in that terms, that's what I would agree with. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of lost in what y'all was saying. Um and like catching y'all recording like I had. Am I still recording? Yep, I still was. Well, I don't care. I could go there and mess. I was recording that whole thing, which y'all just said. I had to hurry up and put it when y'all was saying that. Man, that's woof. Y'all did a number on me tonight on that one. Man. Man. My oh my.
Well, I do want to add and say that on the end note, when you do go through heartbreak and you choose to actually go through the process, you can come out on the other side and you can be healed from the heartbreak. I know you may not get over the thought of knowing that you were heartbroken at some point, but moving forward, you won't be stuck in that same place.
Right.
You will be able to start taking steps forward and moving on to what is next or the next chapter of your life.
My goodness. Oh man. Well, Miss Hills, Mr. Reese, goodness gracious. It is very rare to have me be speechless, but they have got me freaking speechless. I'm not going to even lie to you. So I believe that second part was all for Randy Johnson Jr. And some of y'all too. Some of y'all can have it too, but I think that was more for me. So, man, on that note, because we was good. I knew that both. I thought maybe we'd get to them, but it went the way it was supposed to go tonight, and I'm glad for that. Again, so happy to have the two greatest hosts in the land along with me for this podcast. We are so grateful for you. Just in case, again, people don't know, We always be saying it. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. Subscribe. And we are also now on Twitter. So please follow us. I'll go ahead and put them advertisements out too, so you'll know and you'll see it. And we so thoroughly enjoy you. Next week, Wednesday, we are going to have an outstanding topic. I just want to prepare y'all. It's going to be a great topic. If you are someone who is in your feelings, feeling like you procrastinate, if you're someone who feels like you're always getting doors shut in your face, you're always experiencing the you know what I'm saying, the backside, but never getting over the hump, next week episode is going to be incredible for you. Next week episode, the whole entire topic for that whole episode, because it's going to be just too much. It's going to be too much for everything. And it's called The Perfect Storm. And it's about how some of your most horrendous and just incredible failures bring forth some of the most unrecognizable and incredible successes you can even imagine. It is an episode for anybody who is trying to do some great things in your life and you keep thinking doors are getting shut. And I'm telling you, next week, it is going to be incredible. You have got to tune in. I don't care if you got to set up a reminder for yourself. Next week, 7:45, we are going to be experiencing a conversation for not just entrepreneurs. We're talking about people with ambitions in their careers, ambitions in their education, ambitions in their relationships, ambitions, period. It's going to be an outstanding episode. I can't wait for it. It can't be covered. That's why we ain't even talking about it this week. It can't be covered in a couple of minutes. This is going to be an all incredible episode next week. I cannot wait to talk about it. So with that being said, for next week, you know about it. So be prepared. Come with everything, every question, all the comments, every single thing that you can think about coming with, man. Come ready to have an outstanding and incredible, transparent conversation. It's going to be awesome. To my co-hosts, do y'all have anything to say before I let these wonderful people get out of here and let y'all get back to y'all wonderful lives?
Yes, I just want to say, as you tune in, keep commenting, but also give us your feedback. If any topic or anything that we discuss when you get on the podcast, if it helps you, if it's beneficial to you, if it starts making you think about stuff, let us know. We want to hear from y'all.
Absolutely. I don't know if Mr. Reese got anything to say. If you there, Mr. Reese, I know he's doing some things. He's doing his daddy thing too at the same time. I wonder if he has, because he was having a little bit of problems. But I know if Mr. Reese was here, he'd probably say, man, appreciate y'all. Great topics tonight. Thank you so much. 3/5 of that Unfiltered crew. Man, we love y'all. See y'all next week. So that's how I'm going to say it. We love y'all. Y'all be good. We will see y'all next week. Remember, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Unfiltered. Follow us, subscribe. Man, y'all have a wonderful day, man. Love y'all. See y'all next week.